Hey guys, and welcome to the channel For the Barn. My name is Michael. I'm the man who lives inside of the barn, but today we're outside of the barn. We're on a little field trip today. So the town I am in today, in California, during the gold rush era, this town actually seceded from the Union for a whole 3 months. The reason for rejoining the Union was they weren't allowed to buy booze. The US Postal Service wanted them to either choose one or the other, and the town, with their fighting spirit, stuck to it. The US Postal Service caved, and the town was allowed to keep its name. So join me on this field trip today, and I'll show you some interesting history in Gold Rush, California. Guys, let me welcome you to the town of Rough and Ready, California. Back in 1849, a group of 12 miners from Wisconsin landed here for the gold rush. Now these gold miners, they were led by a man named A.A. Townsend. A.A. Townsend had served under President Zachary Taylor in the Black Hawk War of 1832. President Zachary Taylor was known to be rough and ready. He was nicknamed Old Rough and Ready. He lived rugged. He was known to camp rugged with the soldiers. Being the leader of the camp, he didn't require any type of privileges. He was rough and ready with the soldiers. So A.A. Townsend decided to name this community Rough and Ready. So April 7th, 1850, the town of Rough and Ready decided to secede from the Union. They wanted to avoid a mining tax. So for 3 months, they were known as the Great Republic of Rough and Ready. However, things came to a halt July 4th, that same year of 1850. Some men wanted to buy some booze for a 4th of July party here in Rough and Ready. It's a very small community. There weren't any liquor stores here, so they had to go to a nearby town of Nevada City. Nevada City labeled these guys as foreigners since they had seceded from the Union, not allowing them to buy booze. So these guys went back to town, back to Rough and Ready. They told the story of what happened. They came back empty-handed, no booze. So that same day, they decided, we're going to rejoin the Union. We need our booze. And it's pretty safe to say that year's 4th of July party was probably out of control. The US Postal Service, they wanted either rough or ready. They didn't want rough and ready. But this town, in their fighting spirit, they chose not to cave. And who caved? The US Postal Service, granting this town its victory. Really not a whole lot to see in Rough and Ready. The town is actually smaller now than it was back in the 1850s. In the 1850s, I believe it said the population was around 1,000 to 1,500, whereas right now it's around 900. The town of Rough and Ready, it just sits right along the stretch of Rough and Ready Highway, which is maybe about a 3-mile stretch of highway. It's a little west of the small town of Grass Valley, California. Probably a little more than an hour's drive, probably about like an hour and a half north of Sacramento. An interesting little town with a lot of history. Please let me know if you guys enjoyed this. There's a lot of little historical towns, a lot of history around this area. I'm living in, mostly circulating around the gold rush. And I would be amiss if I did not mention the atrocities that the Native American communities faced during the gold rush times, a dark side of our country's history that oftentimes gets overlooked, as we do like to romance the gold rush era. That's all I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to point the finger at anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody feel guilty. Hope you guys have a good day.